The Google Pixel 7 and 7 Pro might have been tech's worst kept secret in recent memory. And while it's eaten a bit into my excitement and hype towards its launch, this year's Pixel has things going for it that make it worth a look if you're considering a flagship phone. Let's talk about it. As always here on Denki channel, this isn't a full review on the Google Pixel 7 and 7 Pro, but rather some key points that stood out to me in the week that I spent with them. Right out the gate, I got to mention my favorite thing, the price. With the standard 7 going for $599 at retail, it's one of the most affordable flagships you can buy, undercutting even the OnePlus 10T by $50. Buy your base model Pixel 7 from Amazon and they'll even throw in a $100 gift card. Wait a few months and I think we could see this thing drop to $500, maybe even lower. Hell, while it's not quite as much a steal, the Pixel 7 Pro retails for $900, which arguably gives the iPhone 14 Plus some nice competition in the sub $1,000 category. Let me know if you agree in the comments below. Not to suggest that you jump out and buy these solely based on price, but at least for me, this already starts the whole vibe pretty strong. As far as design goes, this year's Pixel looks similar compared to last year, and I'm absolutely here for it. The product ID from the rear is still one of the most unique designs on the market today. It looks more cohesive, with the camera bump matching materials with the frame around the phone. And the best part is that you can still use it flat on a table without any weird wobble. In my opinion, the standard Pixel 7 feels the best of the two in hand. The matte aluminum accents and flat screen beat the rounded screen and glossy, slippery, fingerprinty finish surrounding the Pro. And all this is made even worse considering the larger size. Plus, look a little deeper and my camera bump is already kinda scuffed. If there's any issue I have with the standard Pixel 7's fit and finish, it's that the edge where the screen meets the aluminum can feel a tad bit sharp in normal grip. But since most people will probably rock a case anyway, it's probably not a big deal. The Pixel 7 and 7 Pro are running Google's new Tensor G2 SoC.
That is a mouthful.
Which the company claims has improved performance and efficiency compared to last year. I'll leave the performance scrutiny to the hardware experts, but long story short, on the tin, both this gen and last gen are basically cut from the same cloth. If you've used the Pixel 6 before, you won't see a noticeable improvement in average day-to-day tasks against the Pixel 7. The same goes for synthetic benchmarks, where you'll see a marginal bump in performance while falling short of the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 and Apple's A16 Bionic. Really, where you'll find the most significant leap with the G2 is in its improved TPU, or Tensor Processing Unit, aka the key reason why Google even makes their own silicon to begin with. The Pixel line traditionally offers plenty of AI-driven party tricks to stand out from the competition and to enhance quality of life, and Tensor is essentially the engine needed to power those tasks. But where the processing bump was most apparent to me was while taking photos. And no surprises here, the Pixel 7 and especially the 7 Pro is very good at it. To understand how good it is, here's a quick overview of the past. Pixels have always produced beautiful looking images right out the box. In fact, I still look back fondly at photos that I took on my old Pixel 3 as some of the best that I've ever taken on a phone. But in my experience, they've never been great for run and gun photography. And the key reason for that is buffer. Let me explain. Smartphone cameras rely on computation to get the right detail, exposure, and color every single time. Of course, the Pixel is no exception, though Google has always leaned into software processing more aggressively than the competition. Sure, photo quality might have been excellent, but the experience was plagued with lag, occasionally taking a beat or two to finish processing. Go and try any of its staple photo modes like portrait or night sight, and you'll be waiting around even longer. Where this really becomes an issue is when you go to check your camera roll to see if you got the shot. The extra second or two you'll spend waiting around for the photo to finish processing sometimes made the difference between capturing the moment and missing it. But with the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro, photo processing is significantly faster thanks to the Tensor G2. It's not 100%, there's still room to speed things up, at least if we're putting this in the same conversation as comparable iPhones and Galaxies. But all things considered, it's still a step in the right direction. Where the base Pixel 7 combines improved software with last year's camera hardware, the Pro gets upgrades across the board, as it should for the more expensive phone. The 50 megapixel shooter is crispy as but the real kicker is the 48 megapixel telephoto lens. Not only does this give you a 5x optical zoom, but thanks to Google's upgraded super res zoom, even 30x is surprisingly detailed. And that's considering that it's digitally scaled and enhanced via software, all thanks to that new Tensor chip. I also love this new photo unblur feature, which, as the name implies, enhances the photos after the fact that might have been too shaky or slightly out of focus to make them less blurry. The only thing is you have to use Google Photos for it, which I imagine shouldn't really be a problem for most people. It's weird. I love this year's Pixels a lot, but I also don't find them wildly interesting. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think they do what they're supposed to do and are very well rounded. Both the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro have great need-to-haves, like 5 years of guaranteed security updates, solid performance, and battery life. There are also plenty of nice-to-haves, like automated calling features so you don't have to talk to people anymore, and even a free built-in VPN. On the software side, if you're like me and prefer a straightforward experience, the polish of Android 13 and Material You is a nice blend of simple aesthetics with Google's vision for what Android should be. This makes for a very cohesive and fluid experience all around. In fact, the base Pixel 7 aligns very well with those seeking an Android alternative to the base iPhone 14, where Apple is struggling to sell its entry-level flagship. This is the perfect opportunity for Google to strike. And with a $200 difference between both, I think the Pixel's a winner. Let me know what you think about the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro in the comments below, and otherwise, thanks for watching this episode of Denki Channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.